Legends assemble. What's going on, everybody?
How's it going?
Are you guys ready for NickyBato live reacts to the Oscars?
Yeah.
We're gonna be reacting to the Oscars all night.
Yeah.
All night. Cece's here. Cece's ready. Cece, what's going on, legend? Thank you for coming through. Thank you to everybody in chat. The Oscars are tonight.
Yeah, but you don't even need to watch the Oscars.
You don't need to watch the Oscars. We're covering it all right here.
We got you covered, except we actually made a deal with the Academy that after this sentence I'm about to say, we're actually not allowed to mention, reference, or comment on the Oscars whatsoever.
Correct.
Yeah. We'll get a cease and desist.
We were actually tasked with writing the winners' names down and putting them in the envelope. And then we slide them under that door back there and they read it.
Did you see a movie this year?
What?
You didn't see any movies this year, did you?
No, I haven't.
No, I'm serious. Did you go to the movie theater
2024? No, I don't know if I did. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I did.
Not one, right?
What came out last year? We must have seen one.
Well, you didn't see Barbenheimer. That was off your
I didn't see Barbenheimer. I might not have seen a whole movie.
You saw a single movie this year.
Oh my god!
I don't know. Movies you saw, we watched at your house.
You might be right. Wow.
You've been so locked in.
That is madness to me. Oh my god.
Well, I guess now, who do you hope wins? Based on vibes alone.
Who do I hope wins? I don't even know who's on the ballot.
Do you know how the Academy votes? Like, how do those people know that they saw the movies, you know?
There's no way to check.
Yeah.
What do they have? Do they keep their ticket stuff? Because I keep mine. That's like my stamp collection. I just hope everyone has a good time. Correct. I was watching the Oscars for the trailers. I saw a category. It's called live action short. No one watched a live action short last year. Are you kidding me? How do they even make that a category to grip people? You know what I mean?
It's what a 5'8" guy has TikTok.
I found your LinkedIn. The name is Paul Smenis. That's who's watching live action shorts.
So vibes, you going with
Vibes, I'm going with the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
That's it. It's winning everything.
Yeah. Because you were saying you were actually not on the native side in that movie.
Yes, and I think it was a brave.
That's what you took from it.
Yes, yes. They didn't go with Saviors of the Flower Moon. They went with the Killers, and I felt more compelled by that.
So
did you watch all the movies, like Best Picture stuff?
No, I didn't. I watched 4 of them.
The only movie that's coming to me is we watched After Sun together.
But that was last year.
Yeah.
That was a 2002.
That was a 2002 movie that I watched.
2002, yeah.
2002.
Running against Shallow Hal.
No wonder it was so slept on for 2 decades. It was, like, it got buried. It got absolutely buried. But
no, Kiwi, they were upset that she wasn't nominated for the Oscars. Not that she didn't win.
the Margot Robbie thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I was always mad at the Oscars because they blackballed Nightingale. I never really cared for the Oscars at all.
Yeah.
But then they did that, and I said, well, I dislike the Oscars now.
Yeah.
I really dislike them.
Yeah.
I was always sort of negative on them.
There was that one movie that turned.
It was that movie that they didn't put it in the running for anything. It was a total what do they call it? A blackball, I guess.
I think there's a.
It was
like,
the best movie of 2019.
Like, I don't think Jack Black's ever been nominated. So what does that tell you?
That's a blackball. Yeah. That's a Jack Blackball.
Jack Blackball.
That's why they coined it, actually. Now I got a question for you. How many satellites do you think fly around Earth? Seriously.
What do you mean?
How many satellites are flying in space?
Time?
Yeah, they're in space, right?
2 to 5.
I say 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3. I Googled it. Guess how many?
How many?
10,000. 10,000. What are they even doing? Is that military? Is that like military or something? What are they?
What do you call it? DirecTV. No, doesn't each customer get a satellite?
Every customer had DirecTV.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Because they make you put the dish on your house. And you get your own. And then they launch a satellite.
That's literally all I can think they're for.
That's how you get cable.
I feel like it's DirecTV customers, and you know how they have like a most wanted list, and they have a satellite following one guy's GPS all the time because he's on the most wanted list, like a guy who's too powerful to arrest, but too scary to not monitor, like stuff like that.
That would be a really cool existence.
Yeah. They can't touch you.
You completely played your cards right.
That's yeah. So I think it's probably like 9,092 DirecTV and maybe 8 really strong people or dangerous people to the powers that be.
What does a satellite do?
I don't know. I don't know what a satellite does.
Does it do like do they launch weapons?
That's what I was thinking with the military stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought those guys were more walkie-talkie. Like, they don't do satellite, you know? It's all broadband. Yeah, we need to go back. GPSs. I guess the S stands for satellite. But more than 10,000 people. More than 10,000 people have one.
Why are people putting satellites on their fucking homes? You know,
yeah, they don't work unless they're in orbit.
The option is cable or a satellite that can get knocked over by the rain.
Yeah. You want something very brittle and exposed to the settlements? The elements.
Actually, can you look that up, how many satellites there are? That's pissing me off. I would have guessed a few. I would have guessed we had one and China had one.
Look at this. I told you, I looked it up just before. Let's see.
Are there satellites up there that are dead and don't do anything?
Like, there must be. But look at this like kind of photo. What the hell is this?
I actually don't like that.
Nuts?
It freaks me out. It makes me feel like we're surrounded by like a robot army.
Yeah.
You know?
It to me, it's like, how do they? I'm gonna open this up big so we can see it. Oh, that's great. How do they not hit each other? This is like a weird cluster. This is also the most high res image we could get because it's taken by a satellite even further out in space. And by the time the picture gets to us, it's all grainy like this.
But actually, whenever they show pictures of the Earth, I never see the satellites.
Yeah, how do they?
Many, you know?
Dude, that's what it's the magic eraser.
A lot of it is rocket debris. CC said. I don't even know what that means.
I don't. But do rocket debris turns into satellites? Then you're saying, do they plan for that? You think? You think the engineers are like, okay, the rockets.
Wait, they turn into satellites?
They become satellites. They put in the functionality that when it's they turn into a sat. No, I think that's what happens. Based on the vibe, I think that you'd think that they'd be smart enough to do that if it's just going to be debris.
I don't even. You're saying when a rocket blows up, it scatters into a bunch of satellites?
It's like the rocket's like maybe 3 pieces, right? And the little part breaks off when it's empty out of gas, so it keeps going. All those little parts left behind, they just turn into satellites.
Well, can you look up something else? Because CC said when a satellite breaks, it continues in orbit for however long, and then eventually crashes down to Earth.
But that's because they get a satellite with a tractor beam to pull it in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe they hit it with another satellite.
Well, is a satellite on Earth a satellite, or does it have to be in space? Like the DirecTV thing on your house, is that a satellite?
It is a satellite.
It is, right?
But it's a dish. It's a satellite dish.
How many people have been killed by falling debris?
Yeah.
Seriously, that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, let's see. How many people have been killed by falling coconuts? That's a debris. When a satellite breaks, Captain Planet picks it up and puts it in the recycling bin. Drake laptop gift.
Dude, it's caused 227 deaths in a year?
Falling debris, making it among the 15 most fatal occupational injuries.
I have never
2021
heard of anyone dying that way.
It's on a... Oh, this is all New York State construction.
No, that doesn't count as debris.
Yeah, we want satellites.
That's a skill issue.
What about falling debris from space?
Nobody has died. We went from 230 to nobody.
No one has ever been
There's
killed.
literally no risk to launching a satellite.
But I'm going to tell you who came up with this. The scientists that made the rockets.
Yeah,
They're
that's
calculating the risk.
That's true. Well, they could push out false numbers. You know.
This is all risk analysis. This is
Yeah.
not. This is all risk analysis. This is not the data. This is not the data. Go Hunt and Fish says, I'll be the first. I'll take one for the team. We need to get the numbers up. No. If I die from falling debris, Ethan says, tell them it's from a massive heart attack. Yeah, that pretty humiliating way to go.
Yeah.
Falling debris. It's like, what are you, Joe Dirt? A couple steps off. It's messed up. It's pretty.
You know
sad.
when they used to do races? Remember people used
like
to race?
foot races?
Yeah,
or no,
and they
like
shoot the gun
go-karts.
in the air.
Yeah.
Did that ever kill anyone?
That actually, there's a lot of people died from that.
No. Look,
I'm dead serious.
how many people have died from a starting gun?
How many people died?
And why did it take them so long to switch?
Yeah.
Why not just? You know what? I have a good.
How many people died from a starting gun? Or a gunshot in the air. We'll pull this up in one sec. Here we go. Spent bullets. Here we go. All right, the National Institute of Health has a study. Let's see. Spent bullets and their injuries, the result of firing weapons into the sky. Okay. 118 patients treated since 1985 who were hit with spent bullets. Most were hit, 77% were hit in the head. Mortality rate was 32.
So out of 118, mortality rate of about a third is like
40-ish.
40-ish, yeah. So, you know, I got a better idea.
What?
Instead of doing that, you just say go.
What about clapping your hand? Or maybe they could just do a cap gun.
3, 2, yeah.
Why are we spending bullet? A spent bullet. This is the what do they call that? A euphemism for shooting
Yeah.
the gun recklessly into the air and killing somebody. A spent bullet. That's what they came
Oh.
up with.
Isn't that what Alec Baldwin did?
His was more premeditated,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
No, because you know what the thing is with an actor, they could get away with anything.
Yeah.
They could shoot someone and then act like it was an act. No, seriously.
And also,
and it's so believable.
He said it was method acting. He was doing Boss Baby. That's where it happened. It was on the set of Boss Baby. There's no way he's shooting a prop gun in the booth. There's no need for that. What do you mean it wasn't Boss Baby?
I don't think he's in that movie.
He's the Boss Baby.
Oh yeah.
He is the Boss Baby, right, chat? He is.
We should let's give out a few NickyBato Oscars right now.
A couple NickyBato Oscars. Okay,
Yeah.
what category are we going with first?
Best actor. Someone who obviously didn't want to be here.
Okay.
Think about that.
Let's see. Obviously didn't want to be
Maybe
here.
Ali on the 24 hours.
Being 23 to 24 hour Ali. Best actor.
Best score, Evan DM.
That's
Played the
good.
music, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Best picture had to be When I Got Stepped On.
Best picture was Nick
That
getting
was a good
stepped on.
picture.
Yeah.
What else is there? Costume design. None of us have that. Well, you look better than me. We'll give you that.
Was as a costume what I wear now?
No, I fits are better.
No. Oh, stop. Look at Nick's hoodie. You said it was Periwinkle?
Yeah,
This is Periwinkle.
yeah.
That's good.
Well, I didn't want someone who I hung out with last night and wore the same hoodie with to see that it was the same hoodie. Okay. What else are we gonna talk about? You got the topics.
Yeah. We got the topics.
Fucking, I'm cooked.
So you had a crazy day yesterday.
I did.
And I felt like a lot of these topics were your time, the timeline of your night.
Yeah. So this is what happened.
It went from all right, I'll let it happen before we.
I went to
discuss
New
it.
York City to hang out with a friend.
Yeah.
I mentioned Periwinkle the other day, and you made it seem like you didn't know what color that was. Well, I educated myself.
Thank you, Lee.
And this is periwinkle.
This is the result.
You ever done a strategic yak?
Like throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done it, right? Cause so you know how I have like trauma with trains, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I can't get on this train
Without throwing
without
up.
throwing up first. Yeah.
So you threw up before you got on the train
Here's
instead
what
of
I
on
did.
it?
I was with a woman in the city at a bar, and I said, I went to the bathroom. While she went to the bathroom,
Dude.
because I didn't want her timing how long I was on. So I'm in the bathroom making myself throw up, and she kicks the door open and goes, "Nick, are you in here?" And picture me hearing that and stopping my yakking, like, because obviously I don't want her to hear that.
Right.
She kicks the door and I go, and then like hold it in for like 10 seconds.
But you're still like bent over the toilet bowl, no?
Yeah.
And she saw that?
No, because I was in a stall. It was like a big bathroom.
I
She
see.
kicked and shouted.
I see.
Like a mom when they've lost their kid, you know?
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
So I sucked it back up for 10 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And then finished and came out like nothing had happened. He was like, where were you? I was calling you. I was like, oh, I didn't hear you. But that's another thing. What
it's
happened
pretty
to...
insane how frequently you've done that.
Well, I was going to say...
I feel like you've done that in every place I've been.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm gonna finish. I'm not gonna say it's not in every place we've ever been, but if we've been to a place more than once,
Yeah.
odds are you've thrown up strategically in there.
Any place we've been to more than once?
Pretty much, like a bar.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I think some of them, like
More than once? I gotta mark my territory?
I feel like the bars we've been to, there's been a time where that's happened because we've gone to places that we frequented, and also the place where our friend Anthony's rehearsal dinner was. You did it there,
Yeah, I did that.
and that one was not very. That wasn't your best work.
Well, that wasn't subtle at all.
It wasn't subtle at all. You left quite a bit of evidence.
Okay, but
It was so wild. It was so serious. That was the rehearsal dinner. That the day of the wedding, everyone was policing you.
yes. But what a humiliating moment. That a grown woman thinks, one, that you're lost. Like you wandered off like a toddler. And two, finds the exact spot you're in, and then you hide further.
Casey says, ahem, evidence in my car. Now, that wasn't strategic at all, Casey. Nicks are premeditated. These are conscious actions to prevent a later disaster, right?
When I was scrubbing out your throw up, I was like, at least it wasn't premeditated. Then I'd be pissed.
That was what happened to me was a tragedy. That was a tragedy. That was a tragedy. Nick was
So if there was
sensible prevention
in court,
I will give that. I will give you that. Sensible prevention.
If we like stood trial for this, the judge would be way more lenient to you, because yours would be
No,
like an
no.
honest...
Well, you didn't make a mess. It is just funny how liberal you are with puking everywhere we go. You like you don't care where.
No, actually, it's the exact opposite. I care so much where that I strategically go.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Where it's the least damaging.
That's true. It's pretty.
When was the last time I've thrown up in a spot where it would be an issue?
You definitely avoided it because of this.
Yeah,
you definitely avoided it.
You know what I'm not? You know what I'm not good at doing though?
What?
I come out like nothing happened. You can see it in my eyes. I'll be like crying.
Yeah, you're like crying.
And like, hold like this. Well, no, I just used the bathroom.
Oh my god. Yep. So how did so it worked? Train ride went smooth, or what happened?
Train ride was smooth. It is weird. Like I finally get like trauma. You know how people have trauma? I get it.
What
now.
did you think before? It was just a.
Oh, I thought it was like
get over it
like
kind
a
of
riff.
thing?
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's like
you know,
okay.
when soldiers say
we
they
all
have
feel
trauma.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
The war ended, bro.
Yeah. The war ended. You're still alive.
Yeah.
And you'd like,
But now I
keep
get it. Like,
moving.
I have trauma now. It's been almost 2 years since my incident, and I still can't get on a fucking train. It's so funny. I can't get on a train without thinking, what if I shit, piss, and throw up at the same time? Like, I'm like slowly putting my foot on the train, like
Just dipping the toes.
yeah.
Oh my god, dude. CC, yeah, you don't need to hear it.
So I have a
I think that what Nick said sums it up.
actually, since you're like a math guy, right?
I guess, yeah.
I have a profound question for you.
All right.
How long was my train ride last night? I got on the train at 1:50 a.m. I arrived at my stop at 4:50 a.m. How long was my train ride last night?
Oh, because I see where you're going with
Yeah, and I feel like you could argue either way.
this. You could argue either way. The daylight saving time adds the wrinkle.
Do you think it was a 3-hour train ride, or do you think it was a 2-hour train ride?
I think it was a 2-hour train ride. Wait, I'm trying to work in a time travel.
'Cause
You time traveled.
If the time if the
traveling.
time went from 1:50 to 4:50,
Yeah.
3 hours passed, right? Even though I only lived through 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I think you have to reckon with it evening out when you go backwards. So, like, if in November I slept from 2 to 8, I would say I slept 6 hours, not 7 hours, right? Because you gotta.
Well,
it has to even out both ways.
It depends, I guess, if you're gonna measure the hours from the clock or from like the units that make up the hour.
I think you have to consider what time is as a concept.
Yeah.
If I went from 1:50 to 4:50,
do you think time is between displacement between hands on a clock, or do you think it's like an hour is made up of minutes made up of seconds?
I think it's a social concept. So I think it's the first one you said.
Okay.
So I think it was a 3-hour train
I think
ride.
you can be whatever you want it to be. And you can change depending on the situation. Like you said, for this one, you're going to wear the badge like it was more time.
Yeah.
But the other way, it would be less time.
It actually worked out great because when I got off the train, McDonald's breakfast had started.
That's really clutch.
So that worked out.
You know what I think? I think they should give us 23 hours instead of taking away one.
What do you mean?
They should give us 23 hours.
So you're saying I should have, when I got off the train, it should have been Monday morning?
No,
it should have been Saturday night.
It should have been Saturday at 3 instead of just fast forwarding.
We should go back almost a whole day.
We should go back almost a whole day. And that's coming from a guy who thinks daylight saving time is about setting the change from 2 to 3 and not making up for the time we lost for the other change.
What if you work retail and you're scheduled for Saturday? I think you're getting off your shift and they say Saturday just started again.
You could do a hack where you get a do-over of the day.
So you skip the first one?
You skip the first one.
Okay.
Or you work the first one, then you don't show up the second one. You say, no, I worked Saturday.
No, but if you're on Saturday, you have to cover that Saturday's your day.
Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's a paradox, they call it.
Could you imagine, like, it's never affected me because daylight savings time is always at weird hours in the night. But could you imagine if you were like like I was thinking about when I was getting my breakfast. I was like, this guy must be so pissed.
Yeah.
He should be in bed for another hour still.
But yeah, and it's like, do they pay you the extra hour?
I think
And do
they
take
should.
it away the other time?
So I think like
they should give it to you both times.
That's where my question is so profound, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're a guy working that train, you'd want 3 hours of work, right?
Right.
From 1:50 to 4:50.
Yeah.
Because how can you say one of those hours didn't exist?
Yeah.
It's preposterous.
Correct. Yeah.
On the other hand, in November, let's say you get out at 2:00,
Yeah.
and you're looking at the clock and it's 1:59, and then it changes and it's 1:00 again. You'd be sick to your stomach, right?
Yeah. Because
Then you'd have to argue.
You probably have to work it.
You do. You probably
have
do
to
have
work,
to work it.
because people are going to be like, well, these are your, people still want the service you offer.
It should be like a. That hour should be like the NBA play-in games.
Yeah.
Like they should. We all know they happen, but they don't exist.
Yeah.
Like it should be like a void.
It was also a leap year.
That's crazy.
Doesn't the leap? I feel like I don't know. Do you like daylight savings time?
No, to me it's like, you know how some people are run late all the time,
Yeah.
so they put their car clock like 5 minutes ahead,
Yeah.
and it's like to trick themselves.
Yeah.
So if they go by that time in their car, then they'll
Yeah.
actually end up early because
Yeah.
their car's 5 minutes ahead. It's like if that was a government policy.
I kind of like it because it's like it's something to talk about.
Oh, that's true.
I feel like there's no like I feel like we're losing traditions. And daylight savings time is something that, you know, it's
Well, I like that.
we can talk about it.
I like that people go their whole lives every single year
Yeah.
around mid-November going, can you believe how dark it's getting early?
Yeah.
I love that they still don't believe it. It'd be like 52 years old. I can't believe it's getting so dark early.
Oh my.
So I guess for the bit, you're right. It should
For the
stay-
bit, yeah, I think it's a good bit.
But if you
Ethan, thank you so much for the cheer, legend. Thank you so much.
But then there's also 3 months of the year where things are just maddeningly depressing
Yeah.
for no reason. Did you know I can handle the sun going down at 6 o'clock? I can't handle the sun going down before 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just such a mental difference. And we're doing it for what? I don't even know what the original plan with daylight savings time was.
It was to juice farmers, I think.
This is what I was saying last week. You remember last week I said farmers will
Despicable people. Despicable class of people.
I say they will swallow your society whole.
If you let them. If you let them, they will swallow your society whole. Farmers. It's gross. It is gross.
Sabato would rather talk about daylight savings time than see one movie in a year.
I watched movies. I watched 2023 movies just pirated. I think. Definitely.
So when's the last time you've done the strategic yak?
I feel like I've only done it once. And it worked like a charm. I don't remember the details of it. I remember that I was way too drunk before, and I did it, and I couldn't believe how good I felt afterward. And I remember thinking to myself, no wonder Nick does this.
Dude,
It was really, really good. It was such a hack, and I really felt like, oh my god, this is like, am I going to even be able to do this? Because
Yeah.
if you're not really trying to throw up, and you're like, oh, I'll make myself throw up, or you stick your finger in your
Yeah.
mouth, you're not going to throw up.
Yeah.
If you're really trying to, yeah, you make yourself throw up.
Well, this is actually, I think I'm like a dog.
Okay.
You know how dogs just have natural reactions to things?
What do you mean?
Like a Pavlov dog?
Yeah. That old.
So
folktale.
I never have to stick my hand down my throat. You know
What do you mean?
No,
You
I
just
don't.
throw up?
This is what I do. This is crazy. I put my nose really close to the toilet water. And something about smelling toilet water triggers something in me.
No way.
I swear to God. Because it feels like every time my face has been close to a toilet is when I was throwing up. So if I just alert my body that that's what's going on.
You'll just throw up.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
practiced you are.
Yeah. See, my drone does the same thing.
You do the same thing? Well, you're drinking out of it.
We're like Pavlov.
You're like Pavlov. Pavlov or the dog? Was the dog's
Wait.
name Pavlov?
Wait, can you look that up, actually?
Let's see. Let's get to the bottom of this, all right? Because the Pavlov dog. Or is Pavlov like, you know that movie Must Love Dogs? It's like Pavlov dogs. Oh, it's the guy. That's stupid.
Well, what'd he do?
Let's see. Look at this photo of him.
Dude, I wish we lived before anyone discovered anything.
Yeah.
Because it would have been so easy to discover something. You know what I
Facts.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, now everything's been discovered. There's no Isaac Newtons nowadays.
Dude, who came up with like 1, 2, 3?
I know.
I could have done that.
You know, in the ancient times, they didn't have the number 0.
Yeah. Who came? Yeah. Who was the guy? Like, how long did it take him? Nothing. We need a number for nothing.
Number that's less than 1.
Oh, I keep trying to. What the hell?
So what did this guy do?
He had the experiments with dogs. Let's see if we can jump to it. Yeah, they should just have a section on dog. You know,
Yeah.
the classical conditioning thing.
Oh, hold on, let me read that quick.
Okay.
The basis of Pavlov's classical conditioning served as a historic backdrop for current learning theories.
There it
However,
is.
the Russian physiologist's initial interest in classical conditioning occurred almost by accident during one of his experiments on digestion in dogs. Considering that Pavlov worked closely with non-human animals, I love how they specified that. Non-human. who reads animals
Yeah.
and goes, oh, they meant humans.
Yeah. Non-sentient, creatures incapable of reason, otherwise known as non-human animals.
However, the fundamentals of classical conditioning have been examined across many different organisms, including humans. The basic underlying principle of Pavlov's classical conditioning have extended to a variety of settings. This reads like someone who doesn't actually know what they're writing about.
Yeah,
right? It's very vague.
Yeah, who did this Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Because they're making it sound like this was a maybe putting the cart before the horse on where we extrapolated this experiment to, because it starts off as an accident during an experiment on dogs, and now they're putting it in classrooms.
He sounds like the waiter in Curb.
Yeah.
There was an accident with the dog.
Yeah. We were measuring a disturbance in their digestion, and
The principles underlying classical conditioning have influenced preventative and antecedent control strategies used in the classroom. Oh my goodness. I just want to know what he did to the dogs.
Yeah, why they don't have the Pavlov dog? Oh, okay.
Did he
They have their
ring-
own article.
Did he
Here we
ring
go.
the bell?
Let's see. Reinforcement. Can we just get like the you know?
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay. So let's just figure it out from the picture.
Well, okay.
It looks like the dog
That
has a
looks like
mirror.
good time.
Yeah, this looks fine. It actually looks like he's going for a strategic yak. This is what's going on. Here's the toilet water, and the dog wants to either drink it, but Pavlov's trying to make him throw up on command. I don't think we're getting anywhere with this.
What does this clear up?
Also, who drew this? Did Pavlov himself draw this?
Wait, go back to the article. I want to know what the actual experiment is.
He redirected the animal's digestive fluids outside the body where they could be met. What the fuck? You talk about the drool?
Oh, okay. So the dogs began to salivate with the person who fed them rather than simply salivating in the presence of food.
I see.
That's actually an argument against dogs.
How
No,
so?
think about it. Because they don't actually love you. They love that you're feeding them.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I hate to say it, I think my dog would love a robot who feeds her as much as she loves me.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I taught the Gimisho how to do tricks for snacks, right?
Yeah.
So I told him how to sit. He sits. He doesn't do anything else. That's as much as he'll do. But I always give him a snack after.
Uh-huh.
But I don't need to say sit. I could also say any other word besides sit, and he'll sit in front of me just because I'm holding a snack.
Yeah.
He tricked me.
Yeah.
He made me think he knew tricks. He just knows that he's going to get food if he sits down in front of me. Prick. And I think I definitely bought into it a little bit
Humans are
myself.
so full of themselves.
Yeah.
This animal loves me.
What vanity that I had. Unbelievable.
Stop giving it treats. See how quickly it loves you.
Yeah. Sad. It's very sad. And also, I think he's kind of like, this is kind of glazing your own work. He called the anticipatory salivation psychic secretion.
It's also a thing that it's weird. It's such a milestone in psychology, and it just seems like common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
the dog reacts to food.
that's why it's like when somebody tells you something they feel like is groundbreaking. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, okay.
This is actually, I'm impressed with myself because I used it perfectly. It is
used
exactly like the toilet water.
Yeah, you could have been. They could be calling it Brown's dog, except the dog would be throwing up strategically. Oh my god! You pioneered this psychology. Pavlov. But it is the name of the guy.
I want to ask you
know.
about the overnight food dilemma.
What's that?
It's another great ethical question. You ever been
Prepared.
a little tired and drunk at the same time? So you order food, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you fall asleep before it gets there.
Never.
You've never done that?
I've never done that.
Okay, I don't experience, but so then
Madrone did that once
okay, so
at your house. You remember that?
no.
It was my birthday party. We all got Rubens.
Oh,
and then
he did
passed
fall
out.
asleep. Yeah.
We tried to wake him up. I was like eating a sandwich, like, shaking. No, I'm joking. All right, sorry.
So you wake up and the food is outside. Say it's like 7 a.m. Let's say you ordered at 2 a.m.
Outside your door.
It's outside your door, outside your house. You bring it in. No animals have gotten to it.
Yeah.
It's still completely sealed, but it's been sitting outside for like 5 hours. Is it okay to eat?
Yes.
It is, right?
Not even a question.
Because
not even a question.
The person I was with last night explained to me how she felt bad because she ate chicken nuggets that were sitting on her living room table overnight. And to me, that's nothing. That's like Little League. That's where chicken nuggets are supposed to be. Is out
Yeah, that's not a problem.
You don't refrigerate that.
That is part of the experience.
Yeah. So that was like nothing to me. So I said, what if it was in the elements for 5 hours on like a Sunday? Because let me tell you something. Hot summer. I'm eating.
Summertime's harder.
I'm eating chicken fingers as the sun rises that have been outside since 5 a.m.
Fine.
And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I eating chicken fingers at 7 a.m. that have been outside all night? You know what I mean? Is that really stupid and that low?
No, it's not a problem at all. I think that if the food
It would be worse if you just threw it out, right?
Yeah.
That would be...
What is happening to the chicken finger? Nothing. It doesn't even matter if it's hot or cold outside. I was going to say if you had like a sandwich with tomatoes and stuff on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you get kind of grossed out if it's like super hot.
Yeah.
But maybe you just put it in the fridge for a little. Put it in the freezer like you do with a water bottle you want a little cold. Or a soda you just bought. Put it in the freezer for like 20 minutes. 15 maybe.
So you have no dilemma with that whatsoever?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Chat, you guys agree? I think that's totally fair. Especially chicken nuggets. What's going to happen to the chicken? You know what else I think about?
I feel like it's one of those things that we all just say is gross.
Yeah.
But is it really gross?
No.
I feel this way about eating boogers too.
All right. I'm going to stop you right there.
When you get down to it,
No.
why is it gross?
What do you mean? Why is it gross? You're ingesting a germ with no nutritional value.
No.
It's gross.
My argument has always been it's grosser to flick it into the air.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Maybe it's more considerate or less considerate.
You stopped agreeing immediately.
This is crazy. You're talking about eating boogers.
Okay, what's another thing that we all say is gross that's not actually gross?
You know what's stupid?
Because I had a great example.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, what I just said.
You know what I think is stupid? When people put the dipping sauce in the fridge from McDonald's to save it for a day, just put that in a drawer or something. They think it's like the ketchup you open. Yeah, you ever see people? They got all the honey mustards and buffalo sauces in the little like egg shelf on the fridge. It's like, why are you doing that?
I want to
for?
know the studies on things that say like, for best flavor, refrigerate after opening.
Yeah,
It's not even saying you have to do it. It's just a recommendation. Because if it needed to be refrigerated, it would say in bold letters, keep refrigerated, right?
Right.
But I like the ones that say, for best flavor, refrigerate after opening. Like,
best
before you
anything.
break the seal, it can chill wherever. But once that's open, you gotta refrigerate it.
Kiwi said, one time in the 6th grade, I saw the weird girl. Is that how you referred to her? Sneeze bloody snot and eat it.
Well, I didn't.
At least he said hot girl shit. Okay.
Separate me from that. I just,
so blood. Blood roasted you
well,
out?
actually, no. I actually think if you have like a cut on your hand, there's nothing wrong with like sucking it.
No, that's good for you.
So why is I'm lost?
What do you mean you're lost?
Why do you draw the line at boogers?
What are you doing by eating a booger? What is it doing
it's like
to you?
your fingernails. That has to be
No,
less
it's not.
sanitary.
That's stupid too.
That is stupid too, but that's probably less sanitary. And you could do that out in the open. Nobody will think anything of it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
All right.
I agree.
How do you cut your toenails?
What do you mean?
Do you use a clipper? Or do you just bend them?
Bend them?
I just kind of bend them and break them off.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
No!
Yeah, you do. I'm gonna show you after. If you... No, seriously.
I'm gonna show you after.
You can't be so dependent on your little devices. Sometimes you have to get primal.
Mine don't break. Like, I don't know. What would you do? Like a fulcrum? Like, you just break them. They're
I
so
do them
weak
with
at
one
that point.
hand.
You do them at one hand.
Yeah.
Oh, but no. I remember watching you do this one time. You start with the clipper though, or at least you used to. I remember one time I was at Nick's house and he was getting ready. He was clipping his toenails. I remember you doing 2 clips and then you rip the rest off.
Yes, that's fine. Is that not
you're
fine?
saying now? No, I don't. I'm just saying now. You said you don't.
Toenails in front of you?
Yeah, it was years ago.
Really?
But this just brought back the memory.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're saying you do no clipper at all now?
Yeah.
You just break them off. I'm scared that I'm gonna pull my toenail out. Off.
But nothing happens when you do that.
It's just gross. And
one time I ripped my whole pinky toenail off and nothing happened. It didn't bleed or anything.
Yeah, but it's tenders.
Oh, that's true.
It doesn't. It's just kind of like off-putting to me because then you get your sock lint on the.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's good. Casey says boogers are things discarded by your body. In essence, garbage. I'm sure you probably shouldn't ingest it, but it won't kill you. I think
there's a lot of things you can ingest that aren't that big of a deal if it's only a little bit. I feel like
I don't think there's
bleach and gasoline. So you know when people clean with bleach?
Yeah.
And then they really feel like they have to wash their hands after.
Yeah.
Doesn't the bleach wash your hands?
I feel like it. But probably turning your hand into a soap.
Okay, let me break it down.
Okay, let's
your hand is covered in bleach, right?
Yeah.
If you sucked on your hand, nothing would happen. Nothing.
I think you would be fine.
You would be fine.
I think you'd be fine. But there's no reason. I don't think it gives you any.
I don't think there's a reason.
I don't think there's any net. I don't even think there's. I don't think there's a reason. I don't think you get any net pleasure from it.
You don't get pleasure, but people live like deranged lunatics. Society is not that scary, man. They have you think if you get a drop of bleach on your tongue, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I feel like gasoline.
Or you swallow some toothpaste.
I get gas on my hands all the time, and then I'll be eating a bag of chips right after.
Yeah. I think people.
Do they say that about toothpaste?
Well, they say always on the thing. Like I feel like it's one of those like best if opened or you put in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
It's like they always say if ingested, call 911. They put that on everything.
You know what I used to do with toothpaste when I was a kid? I used to suck the toothbrush to get as much as I could and then swallow it. I'd brush my teeth and I'd go.
Why?
I don't know. Why did none of the adults in my life curb that behavior?
Why?
You said you'd go like, what now? I go,
What the... Okay, well, was it you like the flavor of the toothpaste?
Yeah.
You really loved me.
And I don't know why we changed.
Yeah.
Like, what was wrong with the Harry Potter toothpaste that it doesn't work on adult teeth?
Yeah, the Colgate doesn't taste good.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It tastes like...
Maybe because they don't want adults doing that.
Yeah. You know what I always thought? I always thought that when something tasted gross, that's when you would say it's like kissing your sister, as like a joke to the other person.
Yeah.
But apparently that just means, oh, it's no big deal. It's like kissing your own sister.
They say that in sports too. They say a tie is like kissing your sister.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like...
I don't think
I think
people...
it's bad to kiss your sister. I don't think people have thought out the ramifications of
I feel
kissing your
like that
sister.
is a phrase that is just lost any kind of meaning.
You cannot say it in contemporary America.
You can't say it in America
it's like
anymore.
Kissing your sister.
No
what are you
place.
talking about?
No one gets it.
That's frowned upon.
It's so ambiguous what the meaning is. We have to just retire it and look back on the time where we could say it fondly. That's it. It's over for kissing your sister.
The one
Sadly.
that pisses me off. You know when people try to draw a line between I feel nauseous and I feel nauseated?
No.
They say like no, seriously, they say like you can't feel nauseous. You feel nauseated. And
What?
like cuz it's this weird
They're splitting hairs
it's
on
this
it?
weird jerk off thing people do.
Believe it.
So what were you going to say about have something in Spanish and Italian?
Today I was at my uncle's house and we were all having lunch and my grandpa was like,
Can I ask you something?
yeah.
I think there's never any footage or pictures family reunion at Gunkle's. You sound like that movie Don't Worry Darling, where you just plug into a virtual reality
I didn't see that.
for like that would be the craziest use of VR ever.
Would be to live in
You need to
my
you need
uncle's
to
world.
come up with a fake gay uncle. Not like a beautiful wife or
What do you want the most in life?
You said
I want a funny
uncle.
gay uncle. My grandpa's like a ball buster, and he was busting balls.
When you say grandpa, does that mean like your gay grandpa?
He was, and my uncle called him a medio pendejo, which basically means half a pendejo.
Okay.
Now, why hasn't that caught on in English, saying half a thing? You know, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. They do it in Italian too. They say mezzo, whatever.
We
half
have
a mezzo stunad or something.
we have like half a meatball.
Half a meatball. Yeah.
I guess I don't really. I guess what I'm wondering is why you wouldn't just say it with your chest, you know?
Well, I think it's like I think like in English people like to say instead of you're stupid, you're acting stupid. You know?
Oh.
I feel like it's to be nicer
so
that
they're
way,
saying
but
your
it doesn't
stupid
translate.
half is acting up.
Yeah.
I actually think the English version is a lot nicer.
I think so too, yeah. But the other one is kind of funnier. I really like calling someone half of something.
It's way funnier.
It's
but you know
so
the thing
funny.
is, saying that half of you,
Yeah.
like half of who you are, is
Yeah.
a pendejo.
It really is so
That's
damning,
very
right?
mean. Like
Isn't
that
it?
would really hurt my feelings.
It is pretty mean when you break it down. It doesn't translate.
Well, I actually think Spanish and Italian are much meaner people
Meaner than
than
American people.
Yeah.
They are, dude. I'll tell you something. I can speak pretty good Spanish, right? We didn't learn Spanish growing up because they told my parents not to speak any other language around us. I mean, they still did, but they told us not. They made sure to tell you to not teach your kids a second language because you want them to be American, right?
Yeah.
And the teachers bought into that too and said that, yeah, it's better for them to just learn English. So that was for a while. So we didn't really get that, but you know, I started learning Spanish, whatever. Let me tell you what happens if I speak one word of Spanish. After my whole family telling me, oh, why don't you speak Spanish with us? You know, whatever. You say one word in Spanish, fucking gringo, like, you know what I mean? They lambaste you, dude. I'm not going to speak Spanish around you guys. It's humiliating. You got to make me feel like I'm an idiot, dude. It's crazy. That's why I don't speak Spanish. Try speaking Spanish in front of your tios or tias and see what happens. they go off on you. It's
So
crazy.
you only speak Spanish in front of your cracker friends.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You're like a dance monkey.
Jesus, they are mean. It's wild.
Brandon said Spanish for sure.
Brandon, do you have an account of a Spanish person being mean to you? Mad at my great grandparents for not teaching our family any Italian to respect the land. CC says any MS will respect the Italians when we were here. Dude. Go off, CC. They didn't teach us. Seriously, they gate kept it. They gate kept it, but that's what they told them. The pressure, being American. John yells at me in Spanish all the time. Brandon says.
Spanish people do use that as a cheat code.
What?
They say anything they want in Spanish to someone who they know doesn't understand
That's
it.
true. You know what I saw?
What?
I saw this guy who plays poker, actually a Venezuelan dude. He's at like high table, like final table World Series of Poker type shit. And he, last hand or whatever, he knows he has the guy beat. Like he has the best hand. He says, the other guy bets and he goes, raise. And he goes, no, call. Because like pretending like he thinks that he said the wrong word in English. Dude, he's saying raise and then trying to backpedal to a call to make it seem like his hand is weaker, so that when he does have to raise, because those are the rules, you have to raise if you say raise, the other guy will be more inclined to call. And he did it 2 times in the tournament. So the first time he did it earlier in the tournament,
That is genius.
totally juiced someone out of a huge hand. The second time he did it, the security guards came over and they were like, "What the hell? You did this before, dude. Like you can't do that." He's
I
like,
think it's fair game.
There's no rule against it, but they're like, "You're being an asshole."
Yeah.
And they told the guy, they're like, "Listen, just so you know, he did this before in the tournament to trick somebody into calling his raise. He knows he has to raise." And the guy still called him on the raise and lost.
Well, it is.
But it was just it's just so crazy. It's what like you said that taking advantage of it.
But it
was quite a cheat code.
I think the guy who fell for it is dumb, but I still think it's a very good strike.
It's a weird.
Because you'd be suspicious, right?
Well,
immediately.
You'd be suspicious immediately. It is a weird position to be in because if the guy did it once, maybe he's
doing it to bluff. Yeah,
he's doing it already to bluff.
But also, then that's just the spirit of poker. That's what everyone does in their own way.
That is, I think I've always said this. Like, it is a game of bluffing, but like I think in any game, if you cheat and you don't get caught, who cares? And that's not even cheating.
No, it's
just
not.
they all had. I don't know.
Well,
It's like
you
when people
support cheating.
bowling. I support cheating.
In anything.
Anything.
On
If you
your
don't get
spouse?
caught, it never happened. So it's like I don't know where sports people make up etiquette. You know what I mean? They call etiquette. They have rules and then they have etiquette.
Yeah, and if someone does something against etiquette, they call it bush league.
Yeah. Like I remember one time as a kid, I was bowling with some friends and this grown man in the aisle or lane, whatever, next to us started screaming at my friend because he went to bowl at the same time
as him. Yeah.
He said, "You can't do that. That's bad etiquette." What?
Bowlers are the most...
You have a fucking lane.
Bowlers...
What is the lane for?
And golfers, too. How they say you can't make noise when they're golfing.
Dude,
Because they're such fake sports. They think how sports works is... It's just like... everyone just has to be respectful of you doing your thing. You know what I mean? Other sports, you have a crowd heckling and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just like big babies. They can't have any distractions.
Yeah.
Even professional bowling, if you watch it on TV, when the dude's actually bowling the crowd, it's like...
You can hear a pin drop. You can hear a pin drop. Insane respect to the bowling.
But yeah, the peripheral vision thing is one, if you take bowling this fucking seriously, don't go when like people are socializing bowling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, dude, This is not
Also,
league bowling.
if you're this good, block it out. You know,
yeah, exactly.
it's such an entry level sport. You need no
Dude.
skill whatsoever.
When we went bowling, you said, "Let me try curving the ball," and you got you got a strike on the first time you threw it. You got a strike on more times than not when you threw the ball to curve.
It was just something
There
I
was
was fucking around
you
with.
weren't even. Yeah, you had. It was like you were just going with how it felt natural to you, and it worked. You know, it's crazy. That's like I used to as a kid raising hell over here. I used to drive by the golf course on Wilbur Boulevard and just I didn't do this specifically.
We used to
I used to honk the horn all the time. It's like, come on,
As
guys.
kids, we used to torture the Vassar golfers, dude. We'd just go in the bushes and yell whenever they'd go. And the old people would point their clubs at us. I'm gonna get you kids arrested. We used to torture those motherfuckers, dude.
Torture them.
And then we used to get their balls when they would hit them into the woods and sell them back to them for $1.
No way.
I swear to God, and it worked.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't even know if that's true, but we would say there are balls now.
Really?
Yeah. See,
And it
Brandon
worked?
said it. He said I'd steal their balls and sell them back.
Yeah. What a hustle. That's
It's
fire.
an infinite money glitch.
It is an
You
infinite
yell,
money
so they
glitch.
take a horrible shot that goes in the bush.
Yeah.
You make $1 a second.
They had a ball cleaner too we would use. The Vassar Golf Course was right behind our house. The kids did that for ice cream, buddy. That's so funny. That's awesome. We should try doing that now as grown men.
Well, we'll get clubbed. Could be the most American thing we've ever did. Restrict access to something, then force desperate people to buy it back.
You tycoons. My goodness.
We built an empire.
Yeah. Nick Rockefeller.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever have sleepovers?
Yeah.
Did anything... You ever got molested at one? Seriously.
Actually, yes.
Wait, really? Are you
I
joking?
don't know if I can tell.
I don't... I was expecting you to say no. It would really help what I'm trying to push if you said no.
Okay, no.
No, say... No.
No.
What's the story? You don't have to tell your molestation story.
My sister's friend, who was maybe like 18 or 19 at the time, used to, you know, we're all laying in bed watching a movie. My sister would, like, the three of us are laying in bed watching a movie, and then, you know, she would, like, put my hand on her boob, touch me, like that kind of, you know, that kind of stuff.
He was a little grabby.
What?
He was grabby?
No, it was a girl.
Oh, what are you complaining about?
Well, I was going to get to, Cece said, why did you unveil the trauma? It wasn't really traumatic. It wasn't really
You were probably
traumatic.
begging to sleep over.
I was,
You had a bag packed
I
every day.
had it on my calendar, man. I had the circles around. How old was I? I had to be 13 or 14.
Is that fucked up? I feel like it's
13, 14, or 15. I don't know.
we're dying laughing at being molested.
I think I was 13-ish. 14,
Okay.
maybe. 13, 14.
For the record, I think it's bad. I'm also a little jealous. That's all.
A little joke. Oh my god.
Damn, I don't know if I want to go with this topic.
My grandfather did that as a retiree, molest people at sleepovers. Is that what you're saying, Casey?
He made a pretty penny.
He made a pretty- For the record, I think it's bad.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again. Give me the answer I want. Okay.
Okay, understood.
Buddy, you ever been molested at a sleepover?
No.
Of course not. Thank you. Okay. So anyway,
Oh my goodness.
Nick's go-to interview question is always, "Hey, what's your worst memory?" That's not true.
Yeah, that's like honestly my top 20.
Top 20 worst.
Top 20 best.
And it's not through 20 either.
Talk about luckiest kid in the world for a
Are
day.
you gonna?
God.
You should show up to her house with like a propeller hat and a big lollipop. Okay. So,
That has to be super confusing as a kid. It's like, yeah, what did I do to be so lucky? Okay. I'm sorry. Leaning into it way too much. Just a joke, guys. Just a
it's
joke.
bad and you're traumatized.
It's bad and I'm traumatized. It's just a joke. Propeller hat had me. Let's stick to the funny. So I said no. I've never been. You're saying parents would do a thing where they tell you it's bad to have a sleepover because of that?
Well, there's a topic going around now.
Now?
There was, because there's a recent story
Okay.
where I guess, so this is fucked up. So someone made a tweet about our parents got one thing right, never letting us go to sleepovers. And I responded to it not knowing it was in response to something.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, posting this after all my friends took turns farting on my pillow. Because that happened to me.
Everyone took a fart on your pillow? No way.
And if, like, I'm kind of jealous of you. Would I rather be sleep on a fart pillow or be gently molested? Give me the latter every time. So you had the two ends of sleepovers there.
The two ends of sleepovers.
No, but seriously, I didn't know that tweet was in response to something serious.
What was the serious?
The serious thing was this creepy dad tried to drug a bunch of his daughter's friends.
Oh, no way.
Like roofied, I think it was either milkshakes or smoothies or something. I think it was smoothies. Yeah, they were 12. And the girls, to their credit, were smart. They knew they were feeling weird. They all called their parents. The dude got caught immediately. And to my knowledge, nothing actually happened other than they were drugged. Like his master plan fell through. So
do you think he was just like, oh, they're gonna be up all night. How am I gonna sleep?
like he's just trying to get them to bed?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess his intentions were more insidious than that.
Nasty. So it was one of their parents, whoever's house it was,
Yeah.
and he did it. That's insane.
And then it makes you think that kid probably should never be in contact with him again, right? Well, he's probably going to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So
there was one girl that fought through it. The rest were knocked out. Oh my god.
Oh, I actually didn't even read the story. I was just going off because a couple of people didn't really like my tweet, which.
Did you delete it or you?
No.
I see. But there were replies on your tweet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said, this tweet was posted in response to a guy trying to drug a bunch of his daughter's friends. And I didn't know that. To be fair, maybe I wouldn't have done that had I known that.
Oh,
but anyway,
that is terrible.
So then the conversation, the discourse, is Twitter always does a discourse, was about parents shouldn't allow sleepovers. And I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna ban your kid from anything that could possibly endanger them.
Yeah. That's like the no trick-or-treating thing.
The no trick-or-treating, because they heard one case over like a 2-decade period.
Yeah.
Or like so if parents were if parents were really assessing the risks of their children, right?
Yeah.
They would never put them in a car ever.
Yeah.
Because if a kid gets in a car accident, he's more than likely dying, right?
Yeah.
Like children are not safe in cars, even more so than adults. They're not safe. Like adults are still very unsafe in cars, but at least an adult has an adult body
Yeah.
to take a hit. They would never let them like stay with their uncle or an unsupervised sibling, because the grim matter of it is most kids who are molested by someone who they're familiar with, like a family member.
Correct.
Or a trusted adult.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's one of those things, and Sol made a great point. It's not so dissimilar from like rape culture of young women when they get to their adult life, when it's like, this is why you should never have an open drink at a bar when they get like drugged or something. And it's like, well, actually, maybe this is why people shouldn't fucking drug people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing with sleepovers is, first of all, I don't think I would like to see the numbers, but I don't think your chances of being molested go up at someone else's house.
Yeah.
Because it could happen in your house too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it just seems like a crazy overreaction to something that's already pretty unlikely to happen, and the ramifications of that to its very end of never let your kids stay over someone's house is a society of deeply mistrusting people where everyone's an assumed rapist or predator unless proven otherwise.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the isolation of that world. If we take that to its end, then that's where predators would eat, right? Like that's their fucking paradise,
right.
is where everyone is mistrusting of everyone, and children live in isolation other than going to. That's another thing. School. You don't hear about a pedophile teacher and then go, this is why you should never send your kid to school.
Yeah,
of course, that's an insane thing to say.
And then
Well, it's like the precaution was the fact that these kids were smart enough to know something was up and called their parents and got out of the situation. Like, I feel like that's the lesson of it, is these kids knew how to stand up for themselves and know when something was off. But it's one of those things where it seems like a very dishonest risk assessment, you know what I mean? Where it's no sleepovers ever. And I get you can trust someone and still not know what they're really like.
Yeah.
Like, you would swear that this person would never harm a child, and then they do, because that I mean, that's life. But let's be real. The odds of your kid getting drugged at a sleepover are still so low, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's a super common occurrence.
Yeah.
And the damage that would become if the conclusion to this is never let your kids go anywhere. You drive them to and from school, always supervise them. Like, I don't think that is worth it. I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think you're right. The bottom line, you can't ban sleepovers.
And you know what? You fucked up the whole thing. It's not 50% of the people in this room have been molested. So actually, if you're playing those odds.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know where to go.
It's like when suburban moms like booby trap their homes or like check under their cars in parking lots. It's like you look like a lunatic. Nobody's sex trafficking people in a Target parking lot.
Did you like doing sleepovers?
I loved them.
Did you do more at your house or your friend's house?
That's a good question. I loved. You know what? They both had their advantages, right?
They both did.
You host, then you're like on your home turf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're calling shots.
Yeah.
You get the bed.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about shitty toilet paper too. That was my big thing. I always wanted good toilet.
Well,
I was doing wipes.
I always feared I would clog a toilet.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know what to do at that point.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
But when you're at someone's house, you accidentally break something, it's not your problem.
Yeah.
You be out.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just kids.
You know what though?
What?
I think I liked other people's. Because I always lived in like small places growing up. And you go to your rich friend's house, they have like a big back porch with like a table.
Nuts.
You have those 14 to 15-year-old deep convos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit built character, man.
Stairs.
Yeah.
People had stairs in the
Everyone
house.
had stairs, yeah.
Crazy.
They had finished basements. What the fuck is that?
Stairs up and
They
down.
said,
two ways.
you think this is the whole house? Check again.
Yeah, we
There's
got
a house underground.
We got 4 more houses to show you. Blew my mind.
You know what though? The rich kids always had the shittiest snacks. If you think about it, they had no taste.
You had to get so creative.
Yeah, they had like animal crackers.
Yeah. Seriously. They just like have whatever they brought home from the Ringling Brothers Circus hanging out in their cabinet. Not a damn Cheez-It in sight.
Were you a hoster of sleepovers?
I think it was pretty even, but I think it was more host.
Because we got what we
I
didn't
think, like Casey's saying, I think my mom wanted us, felt more I think all moms feel that way, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We actually weren't friends until the age where any sleepover would just be like after a party, right? Where we would crash. We never had those like sleep.
Yeah.
We never had those compare dick sizes moments. Nothing like that.
We never did.
Yeah.
We could still.
Man, remember?
What were you saying?
Remember people had pools? That shit was crazy.
Nuts.
My God.
Dude.
So anyway,
no.
I had a sleepover once. I was sleepy on the couch, and when I dozed off, sleepover 6 dudes all took turns bare ass farting on my pillow. And then they
while you were asleep.
And then they woke me up and said, "Hey Nick, you want to get to the bed now?" And I went to the bed and put my head on the pillow. Like that's how cruel can you be?
Dude, you know what's nuts? Is one time I remember as a kid that my dad was laying down in bed and he told me to come here, and then I did, and he said, put your ear like right here. And it was like around his lower body. I didn't think anything of it. Farted right in my face.
What's wrong with that guy?
What is a dickhead? What the hell, man? It was so foul. Everyone was laughing.
Did you ever
My
feel
mom,
like
dad, and sister were all cracking up. Like, were they all in on it?
So they all kind of cooked you?
Yeah.
Was that ever?
That was when we were like little enough. We all like slept in the one bed, I think.
Yeah. You ever think about when your parents just traumatized you for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah.
Like, what did you gain from that? My mom used to show me those screamer vids. Remember?
Oh yeah.
It'd be like a car driving, and a zombie would pop up and scream at you.
Yeah.
You know how fucked up that is when you're like 8 years old?
Yeah.
You think that motherfucker's everywhere. You think he's gonna pop up at your window?
Yeah. That is scary. Casey said, "Oops." Cece asked, "Did you get pink eye?" No, I did not.
No, she's talking
but
about,
it was much, much worse.
I think she's talking about my fart pillow.
Oh.
Because that was bare ass.
Did you? That was bare ass fart?
Yeah.
No way.
I swear.
There was there was dookie particles on your pillow, dude.
That's one of those things I don't really believe is real either.
Pink
I think
eye?
it's like salmonella.
I think that was like made up on the codename Kids Next Door. That was never a real thing.
It's one of those things where, you know the thing about salmonella? They fear-mongered it for years.
Yeah.
And then they started selling ice cream with raw cookie dough in it.
Yeah.
It's like, so the whole thing was fake the
all
whole
a sham.
time.
Yeah. And when was the last time someone was holding an egg? Got poisoned from holding an egg. You got salmonella from what?
There's no way.
I really thought I was gonna die. No, how did you get salmonella poisoning? This is madness. Egg? Oh no. Just holding an egg? Now we can tell someone to suck eggs.
Yeah, we gotta bring that back.
We gotta bring that
Yeah.
back. We should bring it back.
Well, the thing is, salmonella, they always used to do it with cookie dough. And I think that was something moms created because they didn't want anyone in the kitchen when they were cooking.
A lot of
know-
it is bullshit.
You know, people
do
would
that.
come in while moms were baking treats and just...
Yeah. I think that there are a lot of social constructs that all stem from adults trying to manipulate children.
Yeah,
A lot.
absolutely. Like seatbelts.
Seatbelts, bullshit. They started turning the car seats backwards because they don't want to even look at you.
Wait a minute. That one, I feel like, started a little after our time. Because I don't think I ever sat in a backwards car seat.
Who knows?
That would be crazy to me. I'd be terrified if I couldn't see my parent when I was in a car seat. My dad had a car seat that didn't lock. You just lift the thing up while I was in it.
You're sliding, like, going from the middle seat to this seat, dude.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you because you were a hoster, right? Was the fact that you had your dad there ever a deterrent, or was your dad like? Would he fake nice when you had friends over?
He
Like,
was
he'd be
like
the cool dad.
He was never there when we were awake,
Oh, okay.
so it didn't really matter. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't think he was ever there.
I
when we were
remember
awake.
in college I had a suite mate whose dad was horribly abusive. I
Uh-huh.
would hear it on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
And I went to his house over a break once, and his dad was moving like he was the chippest guy in the world.
What
Just
the
like,
fuck?
hey man, can I get like, you know what I mean?
Crazy. I used to have actually a lot more sleepovers than I thought because I was thinking about just like when we had a sleepover, but my dad used to have like cards. They used to like rotate like my dad and all the other like Italian people that would
Mhm.
play cards together at night, and they used to like play every week all night. And so when it was our house, like they would all be in the like this room of the apartment, and then right next is just the living room / bedroom or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're all just sitting there watching TV, play videos all night, dude. They got my dad. I remember my dad got A Night at the Roxbury on VHS. Watched that movie so many times. They're just eating like random stuff, like putting marshmallows over the gas stove, eating a jar of pickles, just going crazy. It was just these are incredible nights. But it was just like my cousin would come over and whatever.
I'd like to know anyone who a single piece of art means more to them than what A Night at the Roxbury means. Like, I know if the Oscars tonight said they were giving an honorary award to A Night at the Roxbury, you would have called the episode.
We'd at least pull it up. Oh my goodness. We would at least pull it up. Catching up on chat. As a baby, it's rear facing. Well, what are the car seats for? Babies or kids?
Why don't we
No,
do-
you're right, Casey. You debunked us. Sorry.
What's up with infant skulls?
Yeah.
Like, what is the deal with that? You can have a puppy in a car. You don't worry if it falls, its skull will crack open.
Yeah, what is up
But
with
with
human
a
skulls?
baby, if it falls, it's just dead. That's why when people say, "Do you want to hold my baby?" I always say no.
No, I
The risk
wanna touch
analysis
that
of
thing.
that is
No,
talk about.
sir.
My God.
I don't know how people aren't so
Yeah.
nervous. How do you pick up another baby?
No
how do you
shot,
pick up
bro.
a baby at all? They got to be the.
Because I know I would drop it. If it started getting antsy, I would drop it.
I've dropped a couple. Never again.
Have you
Never
dropped
again.
your daughter ever? You don't pick her up.
I just don't pick her.
For innocent babies hate me anyway. Don't even try. Well, babies are notoriously homophobic. They are.
The babies are. Casey says a baby's skull is not all the way closed. There's a soft spot. Why did?
But
we
why is that a
evolve?
human thing?
Yeah.
Well, how come we can do so many great things,
Yeah.
but for the first 2 years of our lives, can't do a fucking thing? We're the most delicate things in the world.
Yeah.
My friend was telling me last night she believes in reincarnation. And
Uh-huh.
that's true. Think
Yeah.
about it. We are white men born in Northeast United States
Yeah.
in the 21st century.
Yeah.
If we get reincarnated, we're gonna be ants. 'Cause we already
We need to balance out. We've
we
topped
already
out.
stopped.
Yeah.
So we have to go back to the bottom of the cycle. You'd be ants. But I guess if you're an ant, if you're an ant, you're an ant. So this is how I picture the reincarnation system.
Yeah.
I picture your soul.
Well, you can be anything or just people. Why are we?
You can be
ants now?
anything.
What do you mean you can be anything?
Because your soul. All right, sorry. Think about this. Your soul is in like a lobby room, right? And God comes in and says, "Nick, you got to go be an ant."
Really?
Yeah.
Is that all reincarnation or just some reincarnation?
This is my version.
Your version.
This is
Okay,
what I'm
Nick's
preaching.
New Testament.
God says, "Nick, you got to go be an ant."
Uh-huh.
So when I'm in the lobby, I'm praying I get squished within the first 4 seconds. Right?
Brandon's right there with you.
I come right back to the lobby, and then he goes, "All right, now you're a centipede." Like that's how it goes. I imagine you live like an insect who lives really long. I'd be pissed,
Dude, or imagine you get like a sea turtle or something.
Yeah. Well, that actually would be nice. I would love to do an ocean life.
It would be nice if you could just float around, no predators, you know? I don't know.
You don't fuck with reincarnation? You just want an eternal afterlife?
I just want to live here forever until I can think about. Until I can think about.
I actually don't think we're gonna have to die.
You've said this before.
I firmly believe everything will work out for me. With very minimal effort. So I think, you know how you say when you turn 30, you're gonna have to start taking care of your health. I think when we're 35, there's gonna be a scientific breakthrough. That there's gonna be pills that regulate all your health. They lose weight if you get too heavy.
Okay.
They prevent all disease, and you never age.
Prime body always.
I believe this will happen within the next 20 years. I truly believe this. And I think death will be something you choose to do once you're just tired of being here.
But do you think it comes with becoming a machine?
I don't care.
No, I'm just asking, do you think that's what it is? Or do you think it's all medical?
I do think it will be part machine.
It's the singularity.
Yeah. So that if you forget to charge yourself one night.
What if you get deleted? What if
like
a villain comes and deletes you?
Your conscience is like a computer at that point?
Yeah, you got a floppy disk. That's what you are.
Yeah. Then I'd probably want to die.
What you gotta be? You end up backing yourself up every night. You have like past versions.
Yeah.
And then you could be in two places at once too if you copy them.
No,
They'd have to make
there'd
vessels.
have to be some government.
They'd have to make
regulation on
vessels
that.
really
Yeah.
inaccessible.
They'd also have to ban birthing people because if motherfuckers aren't dying.
Oh my goodness. OMG, so many good points being made. Thank you, Cece. Sorry.
No, we also wouldn't have to work because we'd also reach a point where we'll have such excess everything.
Immortality is too long. Oh, Brandon's saying immortality is too long. We'd all be working forever. Maybe we could have life shifts. Where you're a worker bee for this life.
Yeah.
Life. Period.
Yes, like a period of 80 years when you work.
You work.
I think you have a retirement life.
You have a retirement life. Then you have a school life where they transition you back to work life. So it's maybe 20 years school life, 60 years work life, 80 years retirement life, and you can repeat like that.
Yeah. Do you know how self-centered I am? Think about this. In 2020, I really wanted to move because I was having a hard time with my roommate. But I kept thinking, man, the first month in the deposit would be so hard to do right now. Guess what happens?
What?
A pandemic. Then they're just giving away checks. Yeah. And I got to move. Do you know, in my head, this is how sick I am. I said, God did a pandemic just to help me move.
And you're so right.
Because I think God's up there writing a script, right?
Yeah.
And he needed to get me $1,200.
I agree.
But he needed to find, he could have, it would have been lazy writing, but I could have just found it on the sidewalk or something. Yeah. But no one would believe
something
that.
Bigger.
Then I would start to question my good fortune. I would be like, this doesn't seem right.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So God did this whole thing. He killed a few people, and I got to move. I'm serious. That's how sick that is how much I think of myself as the main character of everything. Would you rather be immortal or invincible? Invincible meaning you live a human life. Let's say you get 80 automatic years, but nothing can kill you. You can get hit by cars. You can jump off cliffs. Nothing can kill you. Or would you rather be immortal, where you never age, but you can get got?
You can get killed.
Yeah.
Invincible.
Like 80 years of invincibility would be amazing, right?
It would be
Yeah.
crazy. Chat, what do you think? I think the invincibility is unmatched. Immortal.
Yeah.
That's just being human. An accident's gonna happen sometime.
Eventually, yeah.
Or someone's gonna get you. They're jealous.
If you were immortal, you could never let it leak that you were immortal.
Right.
You'd have to keep moving and changing identities and stuff
Yeah.
like they did in Twilight.
Is that what they did in that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
The Brandon and Jonathan needed it too, but that's only because they were so close to Nick. Circumstantially, it benefited them too. CCU too.
Wait, go up. There's a question about your body aging.
Let's see. Okay, but does your body still age? No. Prime physical form, right?
Yeah.
Prime physical form all the time. No, I haven't seen Twilight. I've seen Twilight, like the spatial phenomena, the weather phenomena. I don't even know what to call it. I haven't seen Twilight. Isn't that a book too? I haven't read it either.
Do you know how young we are? You know how you're 28?
Yeah.
If you lived another 28 years, you're 56.
Yeah.
If you died then, people would say, wow, he died so young.
He died so young.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could still have a whole life of what you've already done.
Yeah.
Where you'd still be considered young. It's crazy.
It is pretty wild.
When do people stop saying they died young? Like if someone dies at 70, do you say that's kind of young?
I think maybe you do.
Does that make? When does it start to make sense? You know?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? When people die of old age, people act like you're not supposed to be sad.
Yeah.
Oh, they lived the whole life. Yeah, but they still went through death.
Yeah.
The most
What the
terrifying
fuck? Yeah.
thing every human
When
goes
people
through.
say, "What can you do?"
Yeah.
The fuck? Oh my goodness. Cece said the woman that created the Backyardigans died at 72, and I still consider that young. I would agree.
I consider that young.
I would
Yeah.
agree. That's young.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should never die, really.
But I sincerely don't think we will. I truly believe it will be optional by the time.
I think other people have said the same thing. Like a lot of people have been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
Because the whole singularity is supposed to be happening like right now.
What's
as written
singularity?
by like the like in the 1900s or 90s. I don't know if it was specifically in the 90s. It was definitely carried that far, but it was written earlier, I believe. But they were all like around this time. The singularity is like when man and machine become one, and that like where artificial intelligence reaches human intelligence, and
Yeah. You know what I worry about? I worry about when robots are gonna get rights, man. I would never support robot rights.
You can't.
Robots are not sentient. I don't care what anyone says.
That's the thing, dude. It's like when people are talking about a clone. That's a clone. It's not a person. You know what I mean?
You never convinced me some code that some Silicon Valley dork typed in is a sentient
Oh my god, it has feelings,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, a fucking nerd created it. I have no respect. Like, what the fuck? It's not me. You're gonna choose that over me?
The sci-fi genre for like 10 years was caught up on that. Like it was some profound question.
Yeah.
It's
It's so
like, no,
easy.
immediately.
It's a no-brainer.
I'd kill a robot without a second thought.
Without a second thought. Yeah, it's not even killing a robot. It's breaking a machine. It's not even killing. I wouldn't even say killing.
I struggle whether bugs are sentient. And I feel like people would disagree with me on that, but I don't think they are. I squish them all the time.
I feel so bad. I feel like there is life in a bug, but there probably aren't. What do you mean by sentient?
I think I start at like a skunk. Anything beneath that, it's fine to kill.
The other day I found like a stink bug in here and I caught it in like a paper towel and I was like, I felt bad. I caught it and I was like, I'm gonna flush this little pest down the toilet. And I got to the toilet and I'm holding it and I'm looking at the stink bug in front of the toilet and I was like, I can't do it. I put him outside, man. I felt bad.
The sickest option you could have done is not killed him and then flushed him, because then you're just torturing it. You know what I mean? If you threw a live one in the toilet and
Yeah,
let
the
it
squid.
drown, you have to either kill it completely and then flush, or let it outside. But I guess it's at that point you think, why wouldn't you just let it outside? No, he's not worth walking down the stairs.
Anything above a parasite is sentient, I think. So I have some friends who are non-sentient. I don't even kill spiders. John hates that I leave them alone. Spiders are great. I love leaving the spiders around. And bugs are sentient. Thank you, CC. Shout out the bugs.
Would you let a robot watch your kids at a sleepover? Can you get molested by a robot? If it's not sentient, you know what I mean?
What do you mean? You're saying if a robot had the thought power to conceive molesting the sleepover kids
Yeah.
and just did it? Like it wasn't programmed to do that, it just did.
No, not the kids, just you.
Just me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait, can you repeat the question? I want a little
If
clarity.
a
on it.
robot molested you, would you feel like you had been molested? Or would you feel like a robot just went fucking...
I feel like this thing's just going
Short
crazy.
circuit
Yeah,
for a
just
little
like
bit.
this is a
Yeah, yeah,
malfunction.
yeah,
I would say this thing's broken. We got to get rid of it.
Would you feel violated, I guess?
I would do my best to not let it happen. You know what I mean? I don't think I would lay back and let the robot molest me. I don't know.
Okay, I think we've scared
Taylor said, Taylor, welcome, legend. Hey, chat, glad to. All right, so not this is a topic to join in on. Welcome, Taylor. We're talking about robots.
sentient robots.
Sentient robots capable of human thought. They're artificial
Because I'm
intelligence.
trying to argue against my argument, because I said they're not sentient, but then someone could say if they're not sentient, they can't commit crimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you almost have to say they're sentient.
No,
Because then you could hold them to the standard
they
you would
can't
hold
commit a
human.
crime because when a robot does something bad like that, you break the fucking dismantle
That's
the
true,
robot.
yeah.
That's it. There's no jail time
Yeah.
or there's not even that construct for the robot. What are we gonna do?
Bring it to
Penalize?
court.
Yeah, bring the robot.
Trial
Give the
of its
robot a
peers.
trial. No, you just break the robot.
And if it's a trial of its peers, it'd have to be other robots.
Well, that's a scary thing. What if they take all our life away from us? I can program an AI to commit a crime and it would still be responsible for what it's doing. We'd have to, but once it does it, then we kill the robot, you know?
But wouldn't you have to arrest the person who programmed it?
That's what Cece says as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that person has to be evaluated. Evaluated.
You know, movies like Megan.
All right, I'll get to work on a okay, Taylor.
Movies like Megan.
And the Automod was fair there. Yeah,
You know, like,
I love that movie. By the
Yeah.
way.
you know, like Ultron too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Megan and Ultron, the people who created them, and having to kill them, but they bear no responsibility for what they did.
Yes,
It's like you
it's
fucking
their
did
fault.
this.
It's
Yeah.
their fault. Yeah, I
The
agree.
girl who created Megan killed like 7 people, right?
Yeah.
And then she just kills Megan at the end, and the movie's like, even now. That's
Yeah.
it. I started a fire, then I put it out.
Yeah.
After it killed 7 people.
Sorry, guys. It definitely is their responsibility. Yeah, what is that? Is that like I feel like that's a loophole that no one's gonna catch on to for the first few years of robots doing stuff.
Yeah. It's like catfishing during the
Catfishing?
internet. You know how
Catfishing
people,
used
there was
to be
like a few
like,
years where it was
"Ah."
legal and people were cooking with it. Yes.
Yeah. It's not gonna be it's not gonna
Well, the internet's not fun anymore if you can't catfish people.
They took
Now
everything
that
from
it's a
us.
crime? What is it, a crime to breathe air too?
Yeah. Breathing air and catfishing.
I used to catfish all the time. I used to use your pics.
How successful was it?
100%.
CC says stop breathing. All these goddamn liberals. taking away my ability to catfish a sexy Bato. Wow. Well, that is the thing. Before catfish was legal, I feel like making a Tinder profile with your friend's photo was just a prank you pulled on them with no consideration at all for anyone on the other end.
Brandon said, I catfished so many people when I was a teenager, but they were a catfish. It all worked out. Brandon was catfishing as a grown man. The grown men were catfishing as teenagers. So then the end result was the same.
Oh my god. Was there an Oscar for catfishing? Best catfish? They had to stop giving it out. The Academy still votes on it, but they don't announce it. It's like in the newspaper article the next day. There's no announcement.
One of those boring awards.
One of the boring awards. Nobody reads the envelope.
You know how there's not websites anymore?
What are you
Crazy? Like if you go on the internet now, you don't go on a website. You go on. There's like 5 different social media apps, and that's it. There's no website.
There's YouTube.com, Twitter.com. You never go on like
Yeah.
a funny website.
There's no because they don't exist. There's no
exist,
time killers. There used to be time killing websites back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember addicting games? You shoot a cat out of a cannon.
Addicting
You used
games.
to kill hours with that shit.
The new grounds.
Now I just scroll. I'll spend
Just
a whole day
scroll.
scrolling, not
Just
retaining
scroll.
anything I'm reading. And that's
Yeah.
how I'll spend a day. It's great. I love being a human.
CC says, one time I got a message from an old high school classmate confessing their love for me, and when I didn't answer, they said it was their friend that messaged. They they panicked hard. Oldest trick in the book.
That's
That is like the dog ate my
elementary
homework,
stuff,
CC. It's
yeah.
happened to
sorry, that was a friend. Yeah, come on.
Sorry, my brother had my phone.
Actually, the girl I was out with last night got a call from someone she dated in 8th grade.
How do you date someone in 8th grade?
I don't know, but they hadn't spoken since 8th grade, and she'd show me the screenshots. This dude's talking to himself in her messages. I mean, I don't mind.
Like 20
I don't
years
mind
for
going
her,
back
right?
to the highlight reel and trying to, you know what I mean? I wonder
because
what they're up to, but not.
Here's the thing: is that as a guy, sometimes I remember this. I remember someone told me after a girl says, or after like a past relationship, it's like, why do you even talk to her? You know, it didn't work out, whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I got nothing better to do, you know.
Yeah.
He just said, "Why? You know, it's not like wasting any of my. It's not like a big investment. It's like I'm just checking in to see how she's doing." And I was like, "All right."
How far back in your life would you go though? I'd stop at like 20.
I don't know. I don't really find myself doing that.
Yeah, me neither. There's a hypothetical. All right, hypotheticals and catfishing are illegal now.
Hypotheticals.
We just
Okay,
spent-
hypothetical,
we spent
how
20
far
minutes
would I go
asking about
back?
if a robot would jerk you off, and now you're saying
Now I'm gonna be like, whoa. I at that point, then who cares? What's the limit?
yeah, I guess.
But I mean, like, you're saying if I'm looking through my contacts and just looking to fire someone off, or
Yeah.
you're reminiscing about a
Yeah.
connection? I feel like it'd have to be post college, post high school.
Yeah,
Post high school.
Definitely.
Doesn't include high school.
that's
because at
why
that point
it
it's
was
like,
so
what
insane
the
to me.
hell?
8th grade, like
Eighth grade is nuts.
neither of you were even people at that point.
Yeah, exactly. How do you? Yeah, how is anything going on in your brain? It doesn't mean anything.
where you're like,
yeah.
she's the one who got away.
No,
Yeah.
no. You can't reach back out if there was a quote unquote connection. You could reach out if there was no connection.
You know what's crazy though? I tried to reach out to my college boss, and we texted a little bit.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
How did it go?
Well, I seem to hitting a dead end, but the fact that it was like, you know, it was one of those,
The fact that it got so
it was one
far,
of those fantasies you just like.
it is in its
You
own
gotta
right
try,
an
yeah,
achievement
yeah.
and something to be celebrated. Nicky definitely hit that nodders.
I know that looking. You know what I said next
Dead
time?
end. We had sex.
No, I said next time I come to Oswego, I'm gonna buy you a drink, and she said I look forward to it. So
That's where it ended.
No, but that's where
Oh, where did it
it
end?
kind of tapered off. Yeah.
I see.
Because I never went to Oswego, obviously.
So it fizzled out.
Yeah.
Fizzled out.
But that was something though, right?
That is
There was
something. That's
something there.
movement.
It wasn't
that's,
like-
that's
yeah,
momentum.
yeah, it
You let
wasn't
it
like-
die.
She let it die more than I did.
she killed it. What do you? Was there ever any talk of you really going there, or
No.
it was just all hot air?
No, it was just like, it was like me writing, you know? It's like writing practice.
Right. Practice.
No, Cece, I'm not blaming the woman.
We're not blaming the woman again. I'm not saying.
I'm
that,
saying I took the L.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're saying that she has the high ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just crazy how low men's playbooks have fallen. I don't know if it's the TikTok brain rot or what. Nobody has a good bag anymore.
No one. The Duffels are these
So
young men
shallow.
have nothing.
They have nothing. They're not doing women hating in 2024? For shame. No. We are not Will from Baldur's Gate. The strategic yak. You ever done a strategic number 2?
I feel like it's the same ballpark.
Same ballpark.
I actually think. Never mind. I don't want to get into that.
I don't want to talk about it. As soon as I said it, I was like, I don't even want to talk
You
about
really
it.
circled back
Sorry.
during a topic that had nothing to do with it.
So what is like your ideal robot in everyday life right now?
What would they do for me?
What would they
I
do
mean,
for you?
They would make me grilled cheeses.
Uh-huh.
They would.
You actually have a grilled cheese maker.
I have a grilled cheese maker,
Which is
but it's
really
not very
cool.
smart.
What is it? Is it just like a toaster with slots big enough to put 2 stacks?
It's a
with cheese
toaster with a
between?
slot big enough to put a whole sandwich in it.
That's so awesome.
Pretty cool.
Sadie did a strategic one today.
Oh, he was right. We forgot to announce the Oscars.
We gotta announce the Oscars.
The winner is Night at the Roxbury.
The winner for Best Picture is a 1999 classic, A Night at the Roxbury. You know what's crazy about A Night at the Roxbury? I don't know if I said this on the show before. You know who really loves A Night at the Roxbury besides me?
Oh,
Roger Ebert.
yeah. Because he had, you know what he had? He had a little something called taste.
Yeah, correct. Really, he actually had a hard-on for Chris Kattan, and not in the bad way, not in the like way where he was getting after him, trying to.
Yeah.
He really loved Chris Kattan.
He loved him.
If you look up Roger Ebert reviews of Corky Romano, he says, "Oh, another pathetic attempt at slapstick by this director, once again obscuring the raw talent of Chris Kattan, who is a slapstick god."
What's he up to these days?
Roger Ebert?
No, Chris Kattan.
I think he's been ostracized from Hollywood.
gotta get him
He
on
might
the
be
show.
Cameo. Yeah. We need to get him on.
Yeah.
We need to get him on. Like we got Sop in chat. Sop, thanks for coming through. It was due. Sadly, I think we have to go and convene with the Academy right now.
Yeah.
And get all the Oscar winners out of the way.
Okay,
out.
my perfect robot.
Perfect robot. Let's hear it.
They'd shoot hoops with me whenever I wanted, but they wouldn't take any shots. They would just get
just
my ball
rebound?
and kick it out to me.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
They'd make me grilled cheeses. They'd be my rebounder. Had I designed a robot, I would design it to touch me. Like, if I'm making the code, right? Why would I not slip
Why
that
wouldn't
in?
you just slip that in? You know, it's the rider.
Yeah.
It's the rider on the bill. Cece, come on.
Clean my bathroom, we could do that.
Clean my bathroom.
Yeah. How little do I think of robots? This is crazy.
Well, I mean, what you're basically thinking of robots, vacuums, like
Yeah.
Roombas or whatever, like stuff that will clean up after you,
Yeah.
and then just a sex doll.
And we'd freestyle rap together.
Would the robot have rhymes like that?
Yeah.
Would you program it to? You'd have like a dial set, like okay,
The robot would have
I
rhymes.
want.
And then I would take them and take all credit for them and
Correct.
put them into the real world.
Well, you wrote the
as if I
code.
wrote them. Yeah,
It's as
exactly.
if
yeah.
it's as if the robot committed the crime.
Right,
You're
Taylor
responsible
gets
for
it.
that.
If I can't fuck my robot, I don't want it.
Words to live by. I think we're gonna end the episode there.
Wait, you don't. What is your robot?
The one that won't fuck me.
Oh, okay. So fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I can fuck you too. I can put it there.
No, I'm saying mine would be more of a me doing it to them. Yours would do it to you, is what you're saying. All right. I don't actually mean any of this. A robot would be my good friend.
Yeah, mine would
And we'd shoot hoops together and I'd let it shoot, okay?
I let it shoot. It's so funny. I have to put the qualifier on. That's NickyBato, everybody. Thank you for reacting to the Oscars with us. We've gone through a lot of movies. A lot of movies won, and some even more movies lost.
Didn't win, yeah.
Didn't win. But eventually there will be a robot that gives out an Oscar to every movie.